What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Heart and Soul. Melody's back.
Hi, guys.
Guess who's back?
I'm back.
And if you're watching on YouTube,
Yeah.
forgot that word for a second, I'm wearing Gen Z socks.
Yeah, she is. And they look great.
And I don't think I can pull it off.
I walked in and she goes, "What's how you wear these socks?" I'm like, yes, that's how you wear socks. They look great.
You know what I think it is? I think it's because I have a really long torso and super short legs. So high socks make my legs look shorter.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I have a short torso and short legs. So it's like,
You're like, I'm just short.
short. So,
But you look so cool because you're so cool. Like you have style. I don't have style.
You have style. Look at you.
No,
right
I wear
now.
gym clothes.
So do I. Just not today, I guess, but that's because I just went to lunch with a friend.
I think that recently, okay, so up until this like past few months, really, I've been like, I could pass as like 28.
For sure.
And like, I feel like cool, kind of still in the know. Like, I like pop culture. Like, I keep up. I'm hip, you know? But recently, since I really think it's since I had my second kid, and I've kind of like become even more isolated. And I'm like almost 36. I'm just like, I'm feeling less and less cool.
Oh, stop that.
Like, I feel like that old mom who's like, why do kids even talk on Snapchat?
Right.
Like, that's literally me. Because I said that like 2 weeks ago.
Snapchat is weird, though.
It's weird. Why would you text
Why
on
do you
Snapchat
text
when you
on
have text
Snapchat?
messaging?
Yeah, I don't get it. I guess it's like why people DM. Text is too personal.
Yeah.
So you just want to be kind of like removed from it. You're not like that personal enough to like have someone's number and like text them.
Yeah,
but,
I guess so.
you know, you'll DM them and have like a little conversation, casual chat, but you wouldn't naturally just like text them and be like, "Hey, I saw your story.
Yeah.
Like you look cool."
Have you?
Heart emojis, and then they just respond with a thumbs up, and then that's it. You know, that would be so weird to text.
That's true. Do you know that if, or I'm genuinely asking, like in DMs, if you like read someone's message and then mark it as unread because I can't respond right away or something, does it say that it's been read?
I don't know. Should we do it now?
Yeah.
I've
I'm
never
gonna DM you.
I've actually never
No,
marked
you-
it unread.
DM me.
I'm gonna DM you.
I'm 97.
Here we go.
Okay, shoot me a DM. Slide in.
DM'd.
Hey.
Hey.
I love it. Okay, so I just read it.
Okay.
Does it say seen?
Seen just now. Okay.
Okay.
And then
Now I'm gonna mark it as unread and
Okay.
let me know if it changes.
Okay.
It's unread.
Let me refresh. Seen just now.
Frick. So it says that you saw it.
Yeah.
And that you just haven't responded. See, I always thought it would say like
it would just make it go away.
It would make it
like,
go away. And then that way the person wouldn't be like, oh, they just read my message and is ignoring me.
And ignore me. Yeah.
But like I really will answer. I just sometimes don't have like the brain capacity to answer in that moment or the time.
I agree.
So
especially with all these memes, like I feel so bad. Some of my closest friends send me like memes all the time. And I mean, I do the same thing. I'll send stuff back all the time. But sometimes I'm just not in the mood to giggle. And I'm like, I just don't want to read that, right? I'm not in the mood.
She doesn't want to giggle, ladies.
I'm not trying to giggle.
But also when sometimes people send you like reels or whatever that are like funny.
Yeah.
You have to like play the sound.
You do, because if you don't, it's weird.
You kind of don't
you
understand
gotta be
it
in a certain place, unless you got some AirPods in.
I'll tell you what, I'd be not playing sounds and just ha.
The amount of time
because I just don't have it. I don't have the time.
Exactly. Heart. Yeah.
And so usually I'll read it, like because usually has words on it. So I'll be like, okay, I get the gist.
I get it.
Yeah. And
you're like, I would have thought that was funny. Yeah,
I'm sure.
I'm not lying when I ha. Like I'm sure I would have laughed.
Yeah.
What is the majority? Does Michael send you reels and send you things? And if he does, what does he send you?
He maybe gets on Instagram and like really gets on Instagram once a week because he's lame.
That's amazing.
And balanced and disciplined. Yeah.
And annoying.
He's absolutely the opposite of me when it comes to discipline. And he'll like send me random things, but usually when he opens his Instagram, he has like scrolling through DMs from me.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I send him stuff all week.
So you send
and then
him
he catches up later.
What do you send him then?
Anything that's like anything from funny, like couples humor or serious like parenting stuff. Like we should try this or you know, stuff like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mikey is always on Instagram. We are opposites when it's like Mikey sends me all the things, and I'm the one that kind of like looks through my top 10 story people, and then I like
Log off.
log off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't even scroll. Like I'll only
I
ever
don't
see the
I
first.
don't really scroll anymore.
And I'll see like the first thing that's at the top of my page, obviously because it's just there. And then if that captures my eye, then maybe I'll scroll to the next thing. But if I don't like the next thing, I'm done. And I go to stories. I story for maybe 30 seconds, and then I'm
I
just
kind of do
done.
the same thing. And sometimes you're like not even watching, which is embarrassing.
I
You're just like
know.
tapping so that you can get through some stories.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, eventually when I am tapping so much and I see that somebody has posted so many things, I just scroll to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I can't even tap through your stuff anymore.
Do you think that's because our brains are so overloaded with so much information these days that we can't focus on even like a fun thing?
No,
I feel like Instagram's pretty fun. It should be.
It is. But you know what? I've noticed when I had my sinus surgery 2 weeks ago, I had to leave my phone up at the front with Mikey because he had to drive me. I went under. And I went to the back where they prep you for your surgery. And then eventually Mikey was able to come back and say hi and everything before I went into my surgery. I had to give him my phone, give him my bag, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sitting, it was probably like 30 minutes.
With nothing.
Which is nothing. And so I'm sitting there.
With nothing.
Oh, with nothing. With absolutely nothing. So the woman comes in, she's talking to me. I have to get changed. She's going to then, come back with like an IV that she'll put in, like all this stuff that they're casually going in and out. And I mean, I was probably without this woman in my room for 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm sitting there in this room. And that's when like it really hit me. I was like, oh, I know why people go crazy in solitary confinement. Because I'm sitting here for 5 minutes, little bit. I'm sitting here for 5 minutes wondering what the heck I'm supposed to do with my life. I'm like, okay, I can't like check my emails, or I can't like see if somebody texted me, or I can't look at my phone in any way, just scroll side to side. It's kind of
sad that we go
going a little crazy.
We can't handle it anymore.
I know. No, it's true. And I thought that I was not that person because how much I don't really go on Instagram. But I think it's probably because I'm the worst of it all. I'm like truly so attention deficit that I can't even sit through Instagram.
And also, I know you're you listen to podcasts.
Yes.
I do too.
That's what I do
like
all day. I can't be alone. I can't
be in silence.
No, I can't be in silence. I'm like, I can't feel like I'm alone in my house.
Me too.
I like have to have something on. And even on a Sunday, I love just like having football on, even if there's not a game on that I even like something on in the background. I love it. I just need it.
See, Michael can go all day with silence.
Psycho.
Yeah, he does. He never turns the TV on. But I also like grew up with a TV in my room. Like there was always something playing.
That's true.
And he's like, no TVs in our room, like nothing. He's like just so lame. So I'm just kidding. He's just like an old man trapped in a young person's body.
Right. You're a young person trapped in an old body.
It's so true.
To circle back.
Good callback.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, but I'm the same way. I can't get off of something. Like I'll either be on Spotify or TikTok or Instagram or my emails. Like I'll go in and just delete some emails. Or if I have nothing to do, I'll go into my photos and I'll just go through and delete old photos like a psycho.
Wow.
I know.
I'll
do that on
real
planes.
decluttering.
Do you do that on planes when you don't have service? You just go through your photos.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Or I play solitaire.
Speaking of phones, Jason Kelce got himself into a little bit of a pickle this weekend.
Tell us about it. Because I didn't know about this until Kathryn told me.
I might be leaving out some details, and I know you're not coming to us for like the initial pop culture news of all time, but I'll tell you what I know. What I do know is Jason Kelce was at Penn State for some, I don't know, football thing. I'm just making stuff up. At this point, some event.
Probably.
He was walking through the campus, and there was this student behind him filming him and like heckling him, just kind of making fun of him, making fun of his family, making fun, like just jabbing at him.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to the point where he was like so annoyed. And the kid said, Travis is a FAG,
Mm-hmm.
continue the slur.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say it, obviously.
I know.
The whole word for dating Taylor Swift. And at this point, Jason Kelce had just had it because this kid was annoying him. And my personal thought is he wanted to punch the kid in the face, probably.
For sure.
But instead, he grabbed the kid's phone, and instead of punching his face in, he slammed the phone to the ground.
Love it.
And broke the phone.
I love that.
I kind of love it too. The only thing I've heard that's like a little maybe not cool is he like screamed back the slur at him. So it's kind of like,
okay, yeah. That's not cool.
Not cool.
Yeah, don't fight fire with fire.
Right. But
Is that the saying?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You nailed it.
All right, thanks.
I have no idea.
We're the worst. Okay. Okay, I can see that not being great.
But I'm kind of on the camp, more so on the camp of that kid got what he deserved.
Yeah.
Like all these people think that they're like shielded when they're on the internet bashing people.
Exactly.
Because they're behind a screen. You know, no one can see them when they're just bullying and bashing these celebrities who are real people.
For sure.
And so to do it in someone's face and for them to have someone bounce like back at them like Jason did, I think is kind of a wake up call for these people. Stop bullying.
Yeah,
like,
stop it.
Stop
People are nasty.
Stop being mean.
Yeah, people are mean. People are nasty. They want to push you to your limit.
And it's like F around and find out. Like you effed around and you found out.
Agreed.
And now I don't think you should have called him the same word.
I didn't know that part.
And I haven't seen the video of that part, but I have seen the part where on silence because you know I don't turn my sound on.
For sure. You smash his screen.
But he slammed it to the ground, and I'm just curious to kind of hear what they're going to address on their podcast this week because they got to talk about it.
Yeah, they've got to. No, they have to.
Yeah, they will. I feel like they always talk about.
They talk about the stuff that's going on that people want to hear.
Yeah. You know what Jason Kelce needed?
Tell me about it.
He needed some Magic Mind.
Sure did.
Which I don't know if you've heard of Magic Mind. If you listen to this podcast at all, then you have because you know it's one of my favorite products. It's these little mental performance green juice shots that you can take on the go. So the good news for Jason, he could have brought it with him.
For sure. They're
so tiny. He could have packed it. He could have even put it in his pocket. He doesn't even have a purse or a bag or anything.
Yeah.
But it is kind of hilarious to picture Jason walking around with a purse. But he could have just slid that mental performance shot, that Magic Mind, into his pocket. And then when someone's heckling him, he needed to get his mind right. He should have just paused, screwed open the cap, taken a quick shot, which, by the way, tastes delicious. And then his brain would have been reclaimed. And he would have been like, what should I do in this instance? Probably not slam this guy's phone to the ground. You know what I mean?
Probably not.
And the good news is, listeners, you can get your mind right in those, settings where you feel like you're just a little all over the place, a little scatterbrained. Maybe you're lacking energy during the day, or maybe you're on the go, headed to the gym, and you're like, dang it, I don't have time to stop for a coffee. Oh, I'll just grab the Magic Mind from my bag, which is way better for me ingredients wise. I'll get a boost of energy and my brain will be reclaimed for my workout or for my work or whatever. And the best part is you get a discount because you listen to Heart and Soul. So all you have to do is go to magicmind.com/heartpod20 and use the code heartpod20 at checkout, and you can get 20% off any of the subscriptions or even just a one-time purchase. So again, go to magicmind.com/heartpod20 and use the code heartpod20 at checkout. Okay, we got to get into Golden Bachelorette.
Yes. It's been pretty good. It's been a pretty good season, and I have been liking Joan's interviews that she's been doing on certain podcasts.
I have too. I listened to her on the Vile Files.
Yeah.
I listened to her on. She did
Caitlin. Yep.
I think that's it.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked hearing from her.
I followed her on Instagram.
Oh, wow.
I gave her a follow because, she's in my age demographic.
For sure. Old lady.
Actually, she is way cooler, on Instagram.
Cool. She wears those socks.
She wears the socks.
Yeah.
With the frills, and she doesn't think twice.
No, she doesn't.
But she does, what I was gonna say is on her Instagram, like her reels are like cute. Like she does fashion and she does like
She's so
cooking
cute.
and she's like pretty cute and cool.
Yeah.
Now at this point where they're about to show the men tell all.
Yeah.
So this episode comes out on
We
Wednesday.
have 2 people left. Yeah, this is out Wednesday. We're not going to know what happened at the men tell all.
Yeah.
But we have 2 left, and it's like a no-brainer.
It's
Who's gonna
chalk.
win? Yeah, it's chalk.
And this
Like,
is the
it's
most
not-
obvious it's been in a
for
long
sure,
time.
for sure.
Don't you?
Yeah,
feel
I
like-
agree with that because even, I mean, even what's his name? Golden Bachelor,
Gary.
Like, I think for a long time we all thought it was Faith,
Yeah.
and then it was like, I don't know, it's recent. Like, it was just
That last episode of them two, like between Teresa and Leslie, I genuinely was like, I don't know who's gonna win.
right, exactly.
And then when Teresa won, I was like, well, that kind of makes sense.
Yes,
And then
yes.
obviously that didn't work
right, obviously, it didn't
because
work.
he's a gold digger.
But yeah, I feel like it.
Just have to slip that in there.
Gold Bachelor to gold digger. I think that I don't know. I can kind of appreciate that she's like,
She's known.
she just knows.
Now, I would really like to break down the fantasy suites or overnights as they're calling it now.
Yeah.
And then I want to break down Chalk as a human.
Are they calling it overnights like for everyone, or is that
I feel
just
like
for
that's all
golden?
they've called it this season is overnights.
Yeah, is that just for goldens though?
Maybe.
And
but
then like the normal season, they call them fantasy suites.
yeah, but old people do it.
yeah, old people do it.
Yeah, like everybody does it.
Who knows?
So it's obviously been Chalk from the beginning. I want to talk about Chalk first. Is I actually can't stand him.
Me too.
I think he's
I mean,
annoying. I think he talks like he's a
getting boring.
broadcast journalist.
Yeah.
He sounds very political and like almost like say the right thing.
Yeah.
It almost feels scripted. Like he just
Yeah.
circles through these like isms that sound good and nice in the moment.
So is that why she said he seems
Says
too
all-
good to be true?
Yeah, he says all the right things,
He
but she
says
doesn't
all the
really
right
know.
things. Like, but do we really know? And like, it is so like weird. I mean, it is just kind of like serious. He's just so serious.
And when they sit down, like he'll be like, all right, well, let's talk about us.
Yeah.
Tell me how you feel.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, bro,
It is kind
tell
of
her how you
odd.
feel.
Yeah. It's
like
odd.
everything
And then
just
he's
feels very like he's like he's a
performative.
reporter
Yeah.
interviewing Joan for some news story. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have no.
I think she's attracted to him.
Yeah, but he just seems so serious. He doesn't seem like super fun.
I'm gonna tell you what.
I okay, yeah, I know what you're about to tell me. And I
Pascal?
agree. Yeah,
I think she should have been with
I think so too.
Pascal. It's
I
a
think she
shame.
wanted to be.
I think she wanted to as well.
I hate that he didn't want to be with her.
That was kind of sad.
It sucks, but it's also like kind of wild where you are getting to know somebody, and just because you're the Golden Bachelorette doesn't mean that every single man there wants to be with you long term.
Exactly.
And I think we forget that as like
it's
viewers.
a two-way street.
Like it is a two-way street. Like we forget that as viewers that like as much as Joan is trying to figure out who she wants to be with, they need to they're also trying to figure out if she's who they want to be with.
Right.
And like I don't necessarily, some people are like, oh, he should have gone home sooner, like blah 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 blah.
I don't
I'm like,
agree with
I don't necessarily agree with that. I
They
think it's
get
like he's still
such-
trying to figure out too.
they get such minimal time
Yeah.
together. So how after two
Right.
he had hometowns and a date.
Yeah.
So how
exactly.
after that is he supposed to be like,
right. And it's almost like
do I know? Do I not know? Do I
it's
know?
also like, okay, we want to have this like format or this show where you have all your men, then you have your top 6, and then you typically go abroad or something, and then you've got your top 4, you go see your hometowns for 4 people, then 3 people have overnights or fantasy suites,
Mhm.
and then you have a top 2. Like it just like that
It's
just
such a
kind of is
formula.
the formula. And so it's like people saying like, well, he should have left. I'm like, well, then what? Like then at hometown she's left with Chalk, and then we don't have the extra episode. Like I don't know. Like as a viewer, like you also are making a show, and I'm
Yeah.
like, one, I think he shouldn't have left early because he's still getting to know her, and 2, I'm like, if he would have just left so early, then like what would we be left with? Like
Because-
if everyone left when they felt that it wasn't like exactly right, or maybe they have an inkling, it's like give it time.
Yeah.
And then
And
you won't have a
also-
show.
Also, like, I think I lost my train of thought. Oh no, I didn't. It's back.
You didn't.
I got it. The overnight episode was kind of sleepy.
Yeah, it was.
If we didn't have that interaction with her and Pascal, I don't think it would have been that great of an episode.
I
It was kind of just
agree.
like, okay.
I agree. I'm kind of sad that he was the one that hurt her, and then he was the one like kind of being like, get away to the cameras and all this stuff. But
I kind of get that.
But I get it too.
think
I like that he protected that moment.
He protected that moment. He didn't want her to be like brokenhearted on camera, and he also probably felt bad. And I think he genuinely thinks of her as like a good friend.
I think
like
so,
I think
too.
they had a good connection, but he was just like, I don't feel a romantic connection.
Yeah.
But I think if he would have loved her, I would have hoped that she would have picked
I feel
him
like she would have.
just for the life that she's looking for. It seems like she just wants to travel, have fun, be adventurous, spontaneous. And she kept saying things like,
I'm not trying to replace John.
And she kept saying things also that, you know, John was so full of life and he made every moment exciting. And Pascal did that too.
Yeah.
So like, why not? And it's not like,
Exactly.
it's not, and I kind of think she's in the same camp from just based off interviews I've heard. It's not that she has to get married.
No, she doesn't have
She
to
just
get
wants
married.
someone
Why would she?
to be with for
She's
her
at
last
this
years of
stage in
life.
her life. I just feel like it's kind of weird that we even have Golden Bachelorette or Golden Bachelors ending without a proposal.
Yeah.
Like I kind of feel like it's kind of weird. Like I feel like at the end of your like last golden years like that, you want to find somebody that you want to have fun with, that you don't want to replace or restart this whole like family type or like this relationship where you feel like you're going to start a family and all this stuff because you're not at that point. Like, what does this represent now? Like, what is this? And I think that's kind of hard. I don't know if Joan realized that when Pascal was leaving, of like, oh, what do I want out of this?
Yeah.
Because it's like, am I trying to find somebody to be like John was to me? Or am I trying to find something totally different in my life? And I feel like Chalk is kind of just like a safe
cookie cutter,
you know, like can just be there for you for the rest of your life. But like, is he gonna be exciting?
Fun.
Is he gonna make the last golden years of your life exciting and do the things that you never did and like live your life?
Paris,
Travel,
like, and even just the thought of saying like, you know, for the last 20 years of my life, I fell in love with a Frenchman. It's cool.
It is cool.
It's like,
it is.
Do it.
I just think like live life.
I wish it would have been him.
I wish it would have been him too.
Do you think he'd be Golden Bachelor?
I would love for him to be Golden Bachelor.
I think it'd be fun.
I think he'd be like really fun with his like one-liners and things, and he's got all the good energy. He would be making out with all the women. It would be hilarious.
I agree. I think it would be a really fun season. And I think it would be a very heated season.
Well, because I don't think it's going to be Kelsey's dad, because apparently he's with somebody.
Oh, he is?
Apparently he is.
Sweet.
Who is he with? He's with
like a famous person?
I feel like it's someone that we know.
Was she on?
Oh, maybe not. No.
Was she on Golden Bachelor?
Because that's Jordan. Jordan has been seen out with Leslie.
Oh, that checks out.
This totally checks out.
That checks
I know.
out.
And so Jordan's with Leslie. Definitely not going to be Kelsey. He's with somebody. I forget who it is, but it was like a really cute, like they put out like their costume or whatever they were being together.
Cute.
And who else was somebody that we were like?
I like Jonathan. I think he'd be a good Golden
Jonathan
Bachelor.
I really like him too. I think they gave Pascal like a good edit.
I agree too, because he didn't walk away as a villain.
Not at all.
That's
Even leaving her at top 3, he still didn't walk away looking like a villain.
I know. And that's the kind of thing with this generation is like there is not a lot of drama.
Yeah.
It's just you're
He's
genuinely
just
watching
cut to the chase. He was like, all right, now I know. And I think that was kind of the conversation with Jesse when he said it was nice.
Coco's up, but finish this off.
Coco's up. When he said he had a conversation with him before he met up with Joan. he said at the end, like, it was really nice meeting you, you know, la da 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 da. Some people were saying, like, oh, that was the first time he had ever talked to Jesse and they have these conversations. What's Jesse even do? And it's like, no, I think
He
that
was
was
saying
him
goodbye.
saying
Yeah.
goodbye because he knew what he was going to do at overnights. And I think the whole date in and of itself
was
like,
very serious.
was very serious. And I think it just showed him even more of like, I really got to do this. So then when it came down to it, the night portion, he's like, this is
Cut
what
to the chase.
cut to the chase. This is what it is.
I like how he put it too. He was like,
I know.
I love you as a person. I love you as a friend. I haven't gotten there. It was so just like clear. She didn't leave with any questions.
No, not at all.
Like our generation is very much like, it's not you, it's me. I just gotta find myself.
You're like, okay, so
like you're left wondering.
Will it be me?
Yeah, you're
like,
left
no,
wondering.
It's just not you. I'm sorry. I wish it could have been, but we just didn't get there. That's just what it is.
Okay, she's crying. I'm gonna pause.
Okay, get the babies.
Okay, we're back with Coco.
With the cutest.
We have a third co-host right now. She's about 14 pounds. The Swedish smile. And she's got a big bald spot on her head. And if you're not watching on YouTube, you're missing this. So that's Coco. Melody just put the mic up to her.
Yeah,
she had a lot to say. Yeah. Jinx. If you're not watching on YouTube, you should subscribe. Even if you like don't watch on YouTube, just subscribe. Like if you like us at all, just hit the button. Just in the show notes. Just do it.
And you can go see Coco.
Okay, Coco. We just finished wrapping up talking about Golden Bachelorette.
Yes.
So we're gonna shift to what do you think? Or do you have anything else to say?
No, I don't think so. I think we all know Chalk is gonna win.
Bear, you want to get out of the shop?
It's just a family reunion.
Yeah,
right now.
literally the whole
Guys,
family
you would
here.
see. Just watch Kathryn kick her dog, and
I know I did just kick him away. He's tough.
But you know what? He didn't even know.
No,
because he's so full of hair that he didn't feel it. And you know what he also said? He said, "Kicking me with those stupid socks."
We were doing our budget this weekend, and which we haven't done ever. So that was nice.
Well,
I mean, we have, but we rarely ever actually follow it.
Oh, for sure.
And we had to budget in his hair appointments.
Oh God, yeah, they're
so expensive.
It's like $200 now for Levi to get a haircut.
Yeah, for a haircut, and then
it's like $150
because we don't shave him. We have to send him out every 2 weeks for a brush and blow, which is $60 a month.
Yeah, I just got French kissed by the dog.
Yeah, you did.
Give me a French kiss, Pascal.
Oh, he's cute.
Guys, you're really missing out if you're not watching.
I know. I really need Bear to go. Bear, go.
So cute.
Bear, go away. Love you. Go. Okay, so Love is Blind.
Oh, budget. No, you were talking about the budget. Oh, never mind. You were
talking about Bear. Yeah, talking about his hair.
Okay. Love is Blind.
Love is Blind.
Watched the reunion.
Watched it all.
Yep. Finished
all
everything.
Caught up. I will say, as a whole, this is my least favorite season, probably.
I agree. Least favorite. Even the married couples. Well, no. I love
Taylor and Garrett. Love him.
Love them. Tyler and Ashley are fine. They're fine. Like, I'm happy they found each other. And I feel zero feelings towards anything that he's done.
I want to talk about that first.
Okay, yeah.
Because I feel like.
Let's talk about our married couples.
Okay, so.
Taylor and Garrett, great. We don't
Taylor and Garrett.
Say much on them. They're freaking awesome.
They're 10 out of 10. They're in game. They're going to make it. Love is glow up. I think it's great.
Love is glow up.
They're a stunning couple.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tyler and Ashley, the whole thing was, his big secret was that he was a sperm donor for a friend who was a lesbian couple and couldn't have kids. And the thing I hate about Love is Blind is they just pop in randomly into a scene where the couple is fighting or they just finished a huge argument that's not caught on camera.
Exactly.
So we're all left, the viewers are left like,
wondering
what the heck just happened?
Yeah.
And which is why I think moving forward, if they could learn a lesson, is make it like Summer House where they have cameras in the apartment.
Yes. Have cameras in the apartment or do an ITM.
Yeah.
After the fact, like how Real Housewives will have they'll do it 2 times because they're, granted they could do it 1 time, honestly, for Love is Blind because they film it so previously in advance.
So far in advance.
That, come to when they're about to have the season air, they go in, they have them sit down and do a bunch of ITMs and show them what's been posted. or what's being shown on the show, and then go through and get their background of like what was going on in this moment, like how are you feeling, like like the ITM things.
I totally agree. I
But
think that's my biggest qualm with Love is Blind is
probably be better to have the cameras in the house.
we just need more.
Yeah.
If we're gonna follow these couples from engagement to the altar, then we need to see it all.
Yeah, I agree.
As the viewer, you owe us that.
Agreed. And it's just weird because these episodes are sometimes an hour and a half long. How have we felt like we haven't seen enough?
I know.
Which is just
because
weird.
what they do show is like this very almost edited, sparkly, like almost too much B-roll. Like the wedding episodes.
Oh my god.
Can we just skip it? It's like, oh my gosh, I'm
it's
bored.
just like now I'm sitting down in the basement and I'm writing on a piece of paper. Oh, and my old childhood friend.
Yes,
I don't know,
it's
just walked
so
in.
annoying. Just get to the altar.
I'm gonna talk to him for 10 minutes, and it's like I don't care about him. I don't care what he thinks. Even like I'd honestly rather just see with your parents. Like, let's
I do
move
like
on.
the parents.
I like the parents, but like
get to the wedding.
Actually, I literally hate when they show meeting the parents. I think it's the cringiest thing in the world. It gives me anxiety. Like I hate when they meet the parents, but it is good to see.
Yeah.
Like I agree. Like and see how they mesh with the family.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay, Tyler and Ashley. So it like pops, the cameras pop up all of a sudden, and apparently he's got kids and he didn't know, but did he? She didn't know, but did she know?
She did.
She did.
She did. And she said that they had a conversation, like a long conversation about it. And then it was like, oh, the cameras are here. We kind of got to talk about it. So it kind of felt forced. Like she even said, she's like, it was forced because we were kind of like producing a moment that had already happened, but trying to put it on camera because we wanted people to know everything. But then it's weird because like, you don't really remember what was said in those moments. You talk for hours and hours and you're like, what part do we put into our show? You know what I mean? It's just kind of like a weird thing to try to self-produce. But she was honest about that. She was like, yeah, I wanted to put it out there, but once cameras came, then, I'm asking him these questions where it's like, and then he's answering, but we already know the answer, but then he gives a weird answer and then it's not good enough for the viewers. And so it's just weird.
And there were things that they discussed off camera that he was like, I really don't, this isn't my story to tell. This part, like there's children involved. I don't want to talk about this on camera. So I think there was a specific question that she asked that he lied. He answered and lied.
Right.
Like, have you met them?
Do they know what you look like?
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't think so.
Yeah. Which was a lie.
Yeah.
And she said, like, I knew he was lying.
Yeah.
We discussed not talking about it on camera.
Right.
So basically at the reunion, they were like, hey, all you trolls. Yeah. Stop trolling until you hear the full story. Like, do you think that she was basically saying, like, do you think me as his wife doesn't knows less than you know?
Yes, exactly. That's
Which
exactly
I'm really glad that they said that and they addressed it like that and that they're doing okay.
Me too.
I also
because it's also very admirable to be able to help, like for him to go and put a child on this earth
for a couple who couldn't have kids. And also, I'm very disappointed in the mother who is to me, it seems as if she's clout chasing. Like she's putting up multiple videos and stories and like
she is not
bashing him. And it's like,
she is not.
Yeah, I think she's just trying to get.
Or the one that because they're no longer with each other.
Maybe it's the other one. I don't know. I haven't really dug
that was
deep.
the sad thing too, where he was like, "This again is not my story, but they have split since then." And then I came in because now she's a new
single mom,
mother,
and she's my friend,
and I helped her create these babies, and so I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna help her because like. That sucks. It's not like I'm stepping in and now I'm going to date you because guess what? She doesn't like men. So it's like, this isn't what you awful trolls think that this is.
Yeah.
But I wonder which one it is.
I know. I didn't do that much digging, but it just seemed to me like, okay, you're the one that's actually, putting your kids out on the internet by creating these clout videos.
Exactly.
And that's not very protective of your family. So I was kind of more annoyed with her than I was with him.
No, I did that. Oh. She yawned.
I think she's in it. Like she's invested in our conversation.
She is. She's looking at it. She's looking at us. She's holding my hand.
Okay. So Tyler and Ashley, I'm fine with them.
Yep. moving
like
on.
it's fine. I'm fine.
It's fine. I'm fine with you.
Hannah and Nikki D. She was so mean to him.
She was so mean.
But
What?
man, he got torn apart in that reunion.
When we find out that he wrote on a piece of paper that he wanted to be the most famous Love is Blind person, and
That sent me.
And I get it. Like he's like, I'm writing goals, and this is before I even knew that I was going on the show. I'm writing this goal that I'm going to be the most famous. I think people can say things before they go on these shows and all this stuff, and you might have an intention going on the show, but then you go into it and then you're like, oh no, but I actually found someone I care about.
Yeah.
So like, I think both can be true.
Totally.
But he did get torn to shreds.
I
feel bad.
Torn up because going into the reunion, I was actually team Nikki D. I was like, Hannah's mean.
Me
she was
too.
mean to him. And I still kind of stand by that.
I still think she was a little mean.
She was pretty mean to him.
Yeah.
But now knowing that he like called her an ogre or what do you call her?
Yeah. It was
Shrek
like
or something.
Shrek maybe?
Yeah. He called her a very mean name, and he was talking about her looks with people during the show, and he was talking about how he doesn't really like her, like all this stuff, and all these details are coming out now or at the reunion, and I was like, okay, he wasn't perfect, and not that I thought he was, but I did kind of think he was the victim
for sure.
And I still do think she was pretty mean to him.
She steamrolls him.
Yeah.
For sure. And I mean, even there was a moment, I can't remember exactly what was being said, but I just remember that he was trying to explain himself, and he is trying to speak.
Do you remember it?
He was trying to speak like slowly so that he was like people receive what he's saying and understand where he's coming from and just kind of give the full explanation. And she was interrupting him constantly and then being like, and kind of like maybe gaslighting's not the word, but like she'd be like, oh, but then you wrote this and it's like she was doing a pile-on effect.
He couldn't get his thought out without looking like the bad guy because she kept piling onto it.
Exactly. So he could never actually defend anything that was said because she'd add on another thing.
Yeah.
And then add on another thing. And then it was like.
And Marissa comes in like swinging a bat for him.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
that was kind of wild. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess I'm team neither of them.
Team neither.
Yeah.
Team go away.
Here, hold this while I put her.
So Ramses looked like he didn't want to be there the entire time. He looked like he was miserable. Even when they were talking to other couples, he looked miserable. Like they would pan to him and he would be over there, arm crossed under the other, hand on his face, just kind of looking down, like kind of rubbing his eyebrows.
Yeah, he did not want to be there.
Legs crossed, just kind of sitting in the corner like...
Because he had a really bad edit at the end.
Oh my god!
And I think he knew like this is gonna suck. Everyone's gonna be coming at me, and like America hates me and everyone on this stage, and apparently Melody. She's literally yawning.
We well. That's how Ramsey made me feel. That was deep. It kind of hurt.
Deep. Oh yeah, how's your nose?
It's good. Yeah.
When you yawn, does it hurt?
Yeah, it hurt a little bit, like pulling it down a little bit, but. Yeah, he was not great.
Well, it was really hard to watch his conversations about sex and contraception and how, so
awkward.
He just was basically like, I'm not wearing a condom. You have to go on birth control, with not even hearing like how birth control affects women hormonally.
Well, and he's trying to say, I understand.
I understood.
No,
you didn't know.
And
how did you not know when you've been married?
Yeah,
that was like the weirdest thing.
Maybe she just never. Maybe his ex-wife just like always stayed on birth control and didn't really make it a big deal.
And then I think the part that also really annoyed me was the military thing.
I agree.
It's if you're so adamant about not being with someone who's been in the military, then you knew she was in the military from the very start.
Right. So that's what I'm wondering. Do you think the birth control thing was just a way out?
Totally.
And
he did not want to marry her.
No. And it just...
I don't even think in Mexico he wanted to marry her. I think he just had fun with her and he was like attracted to her. Like I think they had a physical attraction.
I think so too.
But
this girl is milk drunk.
But I think he was looking for a way out. And when
Yeah.
he said the thing, like, you have too much energy for me, that was kind of like
That was weird. Yeah, and that being like his excuse, she's got too much energy for me. When they had talked about previously, like, no, I think like we balance each other out, you know,
yeah.
and like you've spent so much time with this person, like you know what their energy is like.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's weird. But that was weird.
I actually don't think he got roasted enough.
I don't think he did either.
Like they didn't probe beyond him giving his own side. They didn't probe with any questions about the contraception.
Right.
They didn't probe with any questions about the military. Not one. That wasn't even
one.
addressed.
No.
And that was like so strange to me.
Which is very strange.
That was a big deal.
Yeah. It was like their first big fight.
Uh-huh.
That it was like the first thing that made them feel like they wouldn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucked. Poor Marissa, when she cried during that breakup, that was
tough to watch.
That was really hard to watch. Like that was a deep cry from within of like real hurt and sorrow.
Yeah.
Like it was really hard to watch.
That's like in the moment. I don't
Yep.
know if you've ever been broken up with.
Yeah.
But like in the moment of a breakup, after it happens, you're driving home or something and you're just like screaming all these like crazy things, crying. Because you're like,
and it's like
anything goes.
It's like the most horrendous sounds that come out of a human that you're like, this is just like when you just got to let it all out.
Yeah.
Like, she was having to do that on camera. I felt so bad.
Yeah, I did too.
So bad. They had a little in the moment thing for her too, that she was like, and she was crying while she was trying to talk through it. Like when they have the little separate to the side thing where she's in the house and she's talking to the camera about what just happened, and she's still crying. I'm like, this poor girl, let her go.
I know. It was tough to watch.
Let her go.
And I think he did her a favor by breaking up with her
For
because
sure. Oh gosh,
he
deserves
seems
so much better.
He seems to be someone who just flippantly and easily throws around the word divorce. And so they wouldn't have made it a year. If something would have gone wrong, he would just divorce her.
She needed something better. I hate that she didn't feel romantic vibes from the other guy.
Me too. I loved him.
I liked him too.
Bowden. Yeah, I think.
But they're just like friends. She just got friendship vibes from him.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang. Because he seemed like a really nice guy.
I know. I really liked him.
But we can move on to someone else.
Who's the other couples?
The other couples is
Tim and Alex.
Yes, Tim and Alex, and what's her name? Michelle, not Michelle. Oh my gosh, Michelle maybe. And the redhead guy.
Oh, what is her name?
What is her name? Is it Michelle?
I don't think it's Michelle. Maybe it is, but Steven. Again, I just don't feel like they questioned him enough.
No, that was bizarre.
I just kind of honestly feel like, and I really don't have anything against Nick and Vanessa. I know they get dogged on all the time, but I think they're fine. I mean, whatever. They're showing for a job and they're whatever. Yeah. But to not ask those questions during an interview, like that's what we love about Andy Cohen.
Yeah.
Is he asks the questions, he cuts people off, he makes them give an answer. He is a good reunion host.
Yeah.
And we need good reunion hosts for that moment because we have so many questions because so much isn't filmed.
Yep.
But what is her name?
I don't know.
Is it Michelle? Maybe
Probably
it is.
Not. Probably not.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
But Steven and
she's beautiful.
I know.
And I actually really liked her.
People are screaming at us.
I guess I can like look it up on the internet that I have in my lap.
That's true. Because there's Marissa.
Maybe it is Michelle.
I don't know. But I think that was such a bizarre moment. But I know that they've met up since then. I don't think that there's much bad blood between them at this point. I think she's kind of like over it. I think that
she's probably thinking, I dodged a bullet.
I dodged a bullet. Like, I'm done. It's fine. But no, like, hard feelings, whatever. Like, I get also where he was coming from, where he was like, I've never met this person in my life. And since that moment of talking to that person, I haven't talked to them. It adds up with what she was even saying too, of like, well, you had so many messages before that. And he's like, yeah. I didn't deny that I've never talked to them. I've just never met up with them. Monica. I knew it started with an M. But yeah, that was he seemed a little defensive too. The way that his pitch.
Yeah, and
high the
apparently he's been
whole
like that
time.
online. Like he's been like
Mhm.
like responding to comments and just being so.
He's very defensive. Very
It's because he's
defensive.
wrong.
Exactly.
Like you cheated, bro.
You
And
cheated.
and Monica should have kind of asked few more questions in the pods when he was like, I've cheated on everyone.
Yeah.
Like basically he said like I'm a cheater.
Yeah. It was the worst too when he's like, I just want to be held accountable. I want my phone to be open, no lock screen or anything like that or no password, because I want it to be totally seen or known if I like do anything wrong. And she's like, why don't you just not do anything wrong?
That was incredible
That was
during
hilarious.
the reunion when she
Yeah.
was like, well then stop doing stupid stuff.
Stop doing stupid stuff. And then he was like, out of respect for that woman, like I'm not gonna go into. He goes, she was like, well, you have a lot of respect for her right now, but you didn't have a lot of respect for me.
Yeah, she had some good zingers.
Mic drop.
Yeah, she rocked it.
She did.
She rocked it by staying silent until she didn't need to stay silent
Exactly.
anymore.
It was great. But
and then the last couple is Tim and Alex. I just think they never liked each other.
No, they don't.
They never liked each other. I honestly couldn't stand Tim.
Couldn't stand
He was
him.
just he was trying to get her to break it off with him the whole time, and he was looking for reasons to get out. And the fact that he turned to an hour nap,
it's really strange. I just don't understand the whole point of like how people get to the point where they're going to propose though. Like he had to have really liked her in the pods.
well, yeah, he said I
guess,
love
like,
you, and he proposed. He got that on
yeah,
me.
that's why it's so weird. Like maybe you realize when you're out of the pods, like you are a controlling human and you can't control her, and then you get frustrated and then you get the ick because you're out of control, and then it all gets flipped on its head. But I just don't understand how you get to the point where you propose to someone and then like it literally seems like you guys loathe each other.
No, from day one.
Loathe. Yes. Like from day one.
Even in Mexico.
Yeah.
She couldn't stand him. He couldn't stand her.
And she was very reactive too. And she apologized.
Yeah. Like, I don't think she's I
don't think she's
without blame.
Yeah.
I think they were both sucked.
Yeah.
And they were horrible to each other.
Really pushed it overboard too, though.
Yeah.
Mexico, when he was like, oh, I saw another side of you.
Yeah.
Again.
We didn't
we see that?
We don't know anything.
What the heck?
It's all he said, she said, and we have no proof.
I feel like it's always like that on the show.
So you don't know who to believe.
You don't know. It's annoying.
It's annoying.
But that was it. The only other couple that we can talk about that I enjoyed seeing
Leo
was Brittany and Leo.
I love them.
I love them.
It made me love Leo.
Yeah.
They're literally besties.
Yeah.
And he did reunion right. He came in, he made fun of himself.
Yeah.
He realized all the things he did on the show during the pods about talking about money and talking about and like bouncing these two women. He apologized. He made fun of himself. And he was like, yeah, that was, I get what you're all saying by making fun of me.
Yeah. Did a big apology to Hannah as he needed. And I think because part of me at first was like, oh, he didn't really give Brittany a big apology, but I'm like, oh no, he talks to her every day. I'm sure he has gone around the ringer of apologizing and her like them just apologizing to it. They've said enough to each other at this point that I don't think it was going to make or break doing it on television, but he probably doesn't talk to Hannah. So like he had a lot more to say to her in his apology. So I appreciate that he did that. And I like that they're good friends, but the thing that's weird to me is that she's seeing someone now, but they still talk.
They talk every day. Yeah.
So
it's weird, but it kind of makes sense.
I guess it does. And it was really good insight to hear that she was like, no, actually, during the reveal, Leo was the most comforting part of it all.
The cameras were,
and that made
weird.
me feel so much better because I thought
that was so
he was
awkward.
such a creep. Watching that, I thought he was a creep and being like feely with her. And
he was being weird.
He was being weird. He was excited. She's hot. But like, I thought he was being like, I thought she was very uncomfortable, like felt like he was a creep, uncomfortable, but she was more so uncomfortable with the whole, like, everyone's watching me and I have to react a certain way. And like all this stuff. And like,
I would be so awkward.
But That made me feel better that she was like, no, actually, he was the most comforting part of it all.
I think that they won the show.
I think so too.
They won. They didn't have to do like the Mexico living with each other, all that.
So
planning a wedding, getting to the altar and having to give an answer. They cut it off at the beginning. They got to go to the reunion.
They had a good time, but then it's just kind of ended things.
They got best friends out of it.
Yeah.
And they got to go to the reunion. They're so famous.
Reunion, and she got to show off her new boobs, maybe.
Yeah.
And then
very new. Very.
He got to
apologize.
Do a really poorly done rap at the end. Yeah. Which I was like, man, come on. Be prepared with something
that was
better.
bad.
Be prepared with something better for that toast.
Yeah, the toast was bad.
They just went ahead and talked you up how you had amazing bars, and like, here you come with nothing.
But they for sure won. Why are you spitting everything up?
I know. She's laughing. She's like,
you're so right.
silly.
Leo and Brittany won.
They're the best.
Okay, well, I guess quickly we can talk about Housewives. I'm only watching Salt Lake City and Roni right now.
I'm watching Salt Lake City, Roni, and Potomac, and Potomac is so good right now. I won't go into it because like there's no reason to, but Potomac is actually really good right now, and they've got a bunch of new cast members. Not even necessarily cast members, but like friend ofs that are like really involved too, that are great.
She's like, I've been watching. My mom hasn't, but I've been watching.
Yeah. But Salt Lake has been really good.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the newbies?
I like Bronwyn.
I like Bronwyn a lot.
Brittany is sad to me.
Brittany is sad to me.
And I think she's got a good heart. I think she's a good person.
And I think she's actually really genuine.
Yeah.
Like I think like who she's showing us is just
who she is. Maylee, we haven't seen. No, couldn't tell you anything about her.
So weird.
She showed up on the cast trip.
So weird.
Don't know anything about her.
Showed up to the whatever that mob night. Yeah. Mob night, but she wasn't really dressed like a mobster.
No idea who she is. Nothing about her. I wish we knew more about her, but we don't.
I know.
And then I'll tell you what I'm loving the most this season.
What?
Is freaking Mary.
I love Mary.
And I'll tell you what, I didn't understand until this season. I didn't understand why she was even there. Mm-hmm. Like I actually thought she was mean. I didn't think she was funny. I didn't understand anything really. Mm-hmm. She is hilarious to me this season.
This woman. For some reason, she has always had a spot in my heart.
She came back this season. Like she's a full on.
Yeah. And she's doing it good.
She is leaning all the way in. Yeah, and I think I would get annoyed with her in the past because like she'd go on these cast trips, but she'd stay in the party shuttle and she wouldn't go to anything. But like
I always thought it was so funny though. For
it
her
is
to
kind
be
of
like,
funny.
I ain't going in there. Take me to McDonald's. Mm-hmm. You know, like she's just.
It was funny, but it was kind of like, what are you doing there?
Like, what are you doing there? Yeah.
Now this season, she's going to these ropes courses. She's doing all the things. She's at every party. She's having people over.
Yes, she's a full-on cast member.
And I love it.
I do too.
She's so funny.
She is. She's definitely unique.
When they had that mob party and Brittany brought a date and it wasn't Jared.
Oh, God.
And she's like, no, that's Jared. She's like, that's him.
And
that's Jared.
She called him Jared.
Yeah.
To his face, right?
And he's like, no, that's not me. I'm Aaron. And she's like, Brittany's dating Jared. She was killing me. And then when she sat on the couch after she got in that fight with Heather, she sat on the couch with those two young girls. And she's like, women. I lost my mind. I was like, she's freaking funny.
She is so funny. Gosh, Mary, I love her.
I love her. I think that the Lisa Barlow, Whitney of it all, it's kind of just like the only drama that they can like.
But I'll be honest, this last episode, I will say Lisa had a really good point in her ITM that she said when she goes, to Whitney, no one even likes your jewelry anyway. You're just doing this so that you can get, a bunch of people who feel bad for you. They're like, oh, we're going to buy Whitney's jewelry. Yeah. Like you're trying to make this a moment. You're trying to blow up your. Yeah, so now everybody's looking up your jewelry line and all this stuff. So you know what you're doing here. It seems really pointed and.
Bless you.
Yeah,
I agree. I don't think that Lisa did.
I don't think so either.
And I mean, she was so Lisa in that moment where she's just like,
yeah,
security. Like she was so extra, but she's always extra.
She always is extra. She's like the opposite of when people overreact, you know, they're lying. No, she's like overreacting because she knows she has a leg to stand on.
Yeah.
She's like, I know I'm telling the truth, so I'm going to overreact and make it totally known that there's no way in hell.
What did you think about the husbands fighting?
I think that
Justin
was being a little baby.
I kind of do too.
I like that John apologized for getting in between because that was aggressive when nothing was happening. He got in between, tried to get space. He did apologize for that. But Justin was being a baby. I think he was he was cursing at Lisa, and it was not important. And the next day for him to pour their stuff down the drain, it was
he was
giving
being a baby.
And it was giving,
I kind of
you're being dramatic.
He and Whitney are very thirsty.
I think
to
so
me.
too.
I think also because Barrett, go away, because he lost his job. He is relying on housewives for income. So he's like, I will stir up the drama.
I will stir the pot. Yep.
And you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
Like I can kind of see.
That's why I'm like,
he's just like,
Justin was stirring the pot. And I think that he was being a little drama queen with pouring the stuff down the drain. I just think like it was too much.
I agree.
Know, when John was like, and John reached out to him and was like, hey man, we should talk.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay.
I like John.
I like John too. And I love that he called his wife mouthy because she is.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah.
But this has been good. This has been a good season.
I think it's been a good season. That's really
New York has been a really good season too. I'm enjoying them. I like that they like get along more now.
Yeah.
You know,
I like New York. I know it gets a lot of hate, but I actually didn't watch the old season, so which I know is like so wrong, but it was so many seasons and I got into Housewives during COVID, so I just felt like I didn't.
The best. You need to go back and watch. I'll go back and watch it all with you.
We do like a Patreon where we recap New York.
Yes.
But I like these girls.
Yeah, they're great.
I think
Jenna Lyons is amazing.
I love Jenna Lyons.
Like she's just really stepped it up a notch too. Like her and Mary are some of my favorites, and I love that both of them have really like come back and come full swing and like showing us they're funny and who they are, and I love it.
I love Sai this season.
I do like Sai.
Bryn is kind of annoying me a little bit. She's stirring the pot. Yeah. I'm indifferent towards Aaron. I don't have an opinion either way. I
agree. I'm like, what are you doing?
I think that she doesn't like her husband right now.
She's so mad at him.
You can totally tell that she's
They didn't talk about a budget.
They did not budget on Sunday. I'll tell you.
Sure. They did not budget on Sunday.
They did not.
They don't have a budget because it's all sold.
It's all sold.
The Bitcoin has
I'll tell you one time, Michael did take a big chunk of our money and invested it in, I don't even know what it's called. Like one of those Bitcoin type of things. Yeah. Crypto things.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. Yeah. And that was the one and only fight we've ever gotten into over finances.
So you're Aaron.
I was pissed.
Yeah. We're like, this is our money. We got to talk about our money. Yeah.
And maybe I would have said yes.
Right. Exactly.
But you didn't even tell me. You just took the money and you put it in.
Did it. Yeah.
And he was probably thinking like, I've never ever invested in anything. He does all that stuff behind the scenes.
Your finance guy.
Yeah. He's the finance guy. But I'm the saver.
Right.
So for me to see a big chunk of change come out of our account,
you were like, what's going on?
Where did our money go?
Where did it go? For sure.
So that's the only fight we've ever gone into. But she like genuinely has not forgiven that man. Yeah. She hates him.
No, she
I forgave Michael. We're good.
Yeah, no. She's right.
We're fine, by the way.
We're fine.
Listeners.
But yeah, that's been interesting. Watch. I feel bad for Gabe.
Yeah, me or Abe.
Abe.
Poor Gabe. I'm sure I feel bad for him too. What else is going on in that season? It's not that juicy.
It's not that juicy. I feel like nothing really. No.
But I like it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, me too. Just love New York in general. So that's why.
Yeah. You were just there.
I was just there for a day.
For what?
Family matters.
Family
matters, you know?
Mm-hmm.
For a day.
All day.
But it's okay. Everyone's all right.
That's good.
And I got to see a friend while I was there, and it all works out.
It all worked out.
Yeah. I'll be back again to see my family on different family matters.
Good. Very good. I feel like we're done.
Yeah, I think
so. Always a pleasure. I think we'll have one more episode with you this year.
Perfect.
In December. And then as y'all know, I take most of December off, and then we'll be back in January and start up a new Year season 7. What up?
What up?
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram if you don't know what you're doing. And keep listening. Tell your friends. Love you guys. Bye.